Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my July beauty favorites, and as usual I have some new products and I also have continual favorites but that I use every single month. So I do want to talk about those, and I also want to talk about my new beauty favorites with you guys. The first things I'm going to start out, and this is what I usually do in my favorites, like I start out like the way I was going to apply things on my face. So the first products that I want to talk about that were favorites in the month of July, of course, my Dior UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence in SPF 50+. I've still been loving this. You guys know that this is my all-time favorite sunscreen to use underneath foundation. My mom gave me like a sample box of First Day Beauty products for my birthday, and I've still been loving my Ultra Repair Cream. This is the one that I think I normally use in the evening, and I use the daily one for like, you know, the morning. But I've been using this morning and night because I don't have the daily one right now. I need to go and pick up the full size in this and also in the daily moisturizer. So it's just, I don't have an Ulta close to me, so I usually just forget to go and pick it up. Or it's not so much that I forget to go and pick it up, it's just out of the way, so I just don't go and pick it up. I need to at least do an online order or something like that. But yeah, you guys know how much I love First Day Beauty. I've also been enjoying the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, and I've been using this in conjunction with my face moisturizer. So I'll put this on and then I'll put this on top of it, and it just adds extra moisture. I didn't realize this, but Clinique also makes the Dramatically Different like moisturizer, and you're supposed to pair this gel with the moisturizer. One of you guys told me, because I was just using this by itself, and I said, you know, it didn't feel very moisturizing, and you had said something about, I think you're supposed to use it with the moisturizer, and I didn't realize that. So if you are really oily, you could probably get away with just using this by itself because it does add a little bit of moisture, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. But if you're, you know, more on the dry side like me, it's really great to pair this with whatever moisturizer you're using because it just amps up the moisture, but at the same time it still seeps in the skin and doesn't feel heavy or greasy or anything like that. I have been getting back into my Coconut Skin Smoothie Face Primer from First Day Beauty. This is one of my favorite moisturizing primers, especially on the weekends. I'll just wake up in the morning and put, you know, my moisturizer on and like my sunscreen, and then I might just, you know, do stuff around the house, clean, do laundry, run errands, and then maybe later on in the day I'm gonna go out to dinner or something. It's just one of those products that I like to use after it's been a while and I'm gonna apply, you know, my makeup. It just preps your skin, moisturizes it again, and just like primes it for your foundation. So I do really enjoy that. And then this product here, I got sent this in a Lancome like PR package, or it was just like a gift they sent me with a bunch of their products. And this is the Advanced Genifique Youth Activating Concentrate, and I have been enjoying this stuff so much at night before I go to bed. After I cleanse my skin, I'll put some of this on before I use my moisturizer, my night moisturizer. And I really do feel like this makes my skin feel more like, or look more youthful and refreshed in the morning. It's still going strong. Like I still have a ton of product in here, so it will probably last many months. And the way that this is designed, whenever you screw the lid on, it puts the correct amount of product that you're supposed to use on your face in the dropper. I do recommend this, especially if your skin is more mature or is starting to mature and you're wanting something to, you know, just make your skin feel and look more youthful. I do like this. I like this serum a lot better than the Estee Lauder one that I was using, the Advanced Night Repair. I think this works even better than that. In the mornings or even at night after I cleanse my face, and before I do like my makeup and stuff, I like to use this. Like I've fallen in love with this stuff. This is like a little sample that I got in a Sephora lip, one of those lip favorites that I got at Christmas time. This is the Dior Lip Maximizer. This is supposed to be like a lip plumper, and I don't notice anything super plumping with the lips. But it does fill in like the lines of your lips really nice. It makes your lips look really pretty. And I've even been using this on days when I don't want to use a lipstick and I just want my lips to look really natural and pretty. I have really been enjoying this, and I could see myself like repurchasing, or I should say purchasing, the full-size tube of this, maybe at the VIB sale or something like that, because I have really been enjoying that. And I know it's kind of like, it's just a lip gloss, but I don't know, something about it just looks really nice on your lips. Okay, I feel like I spent forever talking about my skincare favorites. Now I'm gonna move on to like my makeup favorites. So with foundations, I had several favorites this month. I mean, you guys know I have so many foundation favorites that I love in my collection, but these were the foundations that I used the most over the month of July. This Lancome Tint Idlewear, or Ultra Wear foundation. This was also sent to me by Lancome in that same package that came with this, and I was really surprised at how much I liked this foundation. It reminds me a lot of the Estee Lauder Double Wear, but just slightly not as full coverage as this. But it is very long wearing. It looks really nice on the skin, like it doesn't look heavy at all. And yeah, so I've really been enjoying it. And I also like to mix this sometimes with like my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow if I want this to look a little bit more dewy, because it's more of a matte foundation. It's not super matte. It's the same sort of finish as my Revlon Color Stay, which is another favorite this month. I mean, you guys know this is always a favorite for me, my Revlon Color Stay, but I really started using this a lot more this month, mixing it with my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, using it on its own. So yeah, these were just my favorite foundations over the month of July. And if you've been on the fence about this Lancome foundation, I highly recommend it, especially if you like long wearing, medium coverage foundations that, you know, aren't super dewy, aren't super matte, just kind of in the middle, like a semi-matte finish. I think you would really enjoy that. And I think it would be really good on, if you're super dry, it might not work for you, but anywhere from just like slightly dry to oily, I feel like that would be a good foundation for you. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about these, even though I use these at the end of my makeup, but my makeup setting sprays, I've still been loving my Urban Decay All Nighter, all-time favorite makeup setting spray. And then I've been getting back into my Milani Make It Dewy setting spray, and I like to use this on days when I want my makeup to look really dewy and fresh, because sometimes this it doesn't necessarily make your foundations look matte, but in my opinion, it doesn't add a lot of dewiness to your foundation. It does when you first spray it on, but once it dries down, it doesn't look super dewy or anything like that. And sometimes this can be slightly drying on me. So yeah, on days when I want my skin to look really illuminated, I'll use this makeup setting spray, because this does make your makeup last all day, but it also adds that dewiness to your foundation, or just, you know, to your makeup. Okay, then for concealers, I've still been loving my NARS Radiant Creamy. One of my all-time favorite concealers. It just is very full coverage. It doesn't look heavy or cakey on the under eyes. It looks moisturizing, and I just love it. It's also a great concealer for your face. And then I recently, well, I picked up in the month of July this Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. I picked up a new one because, like I told you guys, my other one, I think I lost it somewhere when I did a makeup event, like in my freelance makeup kit. So I bought a new one, and I have been loving this again. This is just my favorite drugstore concealer. It's full coverage, doesn't look heavy or cakey on the under eyes. It's not quite as full coverage as my NARS Radiant Creamy, but it's pretty close. So those were my two favorite concealers over the month. And this is also a great face concealer as well if you have blemishes or anything like that. For my setting powders, still been enjoying my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable and my e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder. Okay, so bronzers. I think both of these bronzers were in last month's favorites, but I've still been loving these. My Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. I just love these bronzers because they look very natural on the skin, because they have a satin finish to them, and at least like this one here is a little less warm toned than my Wet n Wild one. So on days when I just want to look bronzed but I don't want to warm up my complexion too much, I'll use this one. But on days when I want to look super bronzed, I'll use my Wet n Wild one, because this one, it's not necessarily orange, but it does add more warmth to your face than the Physicians Formula one. And then for contouring, I've been getting back into my BH Studio Pro highlight. I can never remember the name of this. Shade and Define 10 color contour palette. And I mostly contour with like these two shades right here, but like, I don't know, towards the end of this month, I kind of stopped contouring. It's like today I didn't really contour. I don't know, I go in my phases with contouring. Sometimes I really like it. Other times I feel like it's too much. So yeah. And I also feel like I need to get a better, just matte, cool toned contour shade. So you guys will have to let me know what you would recommend for that, like what you like for a more cool toned contour, because I feel like all of my contours that I do have, they're a little too warm sometimes, and I need something a little bit more cool toned. And I mean, I do like using my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It for a contour because this is cool toned, but sometimes since it is like a satin finish, it can look a little weird as a contour, especially from the side. Like it looks too, you know, satiny. I need something more matte. So you'll just have to let me know what you guys would recommend for that. And then for blushes, I've been really into just very neutral blushes, and the two blushes that I used the most over this month, my Wet n Wild Rosé Champagne. This is just a beautiful blush on those days when you don't really know what to wear. It's super natural. I still have my foundation on the back of my hand, that L'Oreal Pro Glow, so that's what those little spots are. But it's just a very natural, it has a slightly pink mauve to it, but it's just very natural on the skin. It has a little bit of a satin finish to it. And then my Hard Candy Fox in a Box Baked Blush Baked Bronzer in Party Girl. This is kind of the same sort of tone. It's like a mauvey brownish pink. As you can see, those two colors are very similar. The Fox in the Box is just a little more bronzy than the Rosé Champagne, Rosé Champagne from Wet n Wild. So been loving these two blushes. I have this blush on today, and I also have on the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer for my bronzer. Okay, for highlights. So my CoverGirl True Blend Stunner palette, this is in It's Lit. I was really on the fence since I had bought this, and at one point I told you guys that, you know, I wasn't for sure if I liked it, and then another time I said that I didn't like it, and so then I stopped using it for a little bit, and then it was like I missed it. So then I pulled it back out, and then I realized that I do really like this. Now I will say with this highlight, it is like a very fine glitter. It's like one of those glittery kind of highlights. So if you have texture on your skin, like if you have really large pores or a lot of breakouts, or, you know, if something's going on with your skin at the time, you may not want to use this because it will accentuate those. But it is a very beautiful highlight. Like it's so intense. I'm wearing it today, and I just love the tones of this highlight. I feel like these swatches probably aren't good. Let me wipe my hand off so you can get like the full effect of this. I don't necessarily use the first one so much. It's more of like the last two that I tend to use the most, just because the first one is like kind of really golden, especially for my skin tone. So that's what they look like there. And the first one isn't as like glittery as the other two, but they are so intense. And like I said, I love the tones on these. Like those tones look really nice on my skin tone. So yeah, really been enjoying that. And then I've still been loving my Dior Dior Skin Nude Air Illuminizer in 02, which is the more pink toned one. I've still been loving this. It's just a beautiful highlight. I want to go and get the nude one in this. I think it's like 01, because I think that one would be stunning, but this is very intense, and it doesn't have like glitter in it. It's just a very intense highlight. It doesn't show texture. It's beautiful. So I do highly recommend this. I know it's pricey, but it is a very good highlight. And like I said, I want to pick up the nude one because I really enjoy that pink one so much. For brows, I've still been enjoying my Benefit Ka-Brow in shade 2 and my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set. They are just my favorite brow products of all time. I just love them so much. And I'm actually going tomorrow to get my microblading done, and I cannot wait. I just cannot wait to get it done. So I'm gonna be doing a sort of like a vlog video of my experience with it, and it might be a while before I get that video posted, just because like once you get the microblading done, you're supposed to go back in 6 to 8 weeks for a perfecting visit. So I want to wait until after I have that done, and then however long it takes for them to heal up after the perfecting visit to do a full good in-depth experience video, you know, on getting microblading done. And if the lady will let me take my video camera in there, I'll film, you know, her doing some of the process, hopefully. So we'll just see. But yeah, my favorite mascara over the month of July, my Maybelline Lash Sensational. I use this just about every single day this month. It's my favorite mascara. I love it. It's separating. It makes your lashes full. I don't have any issues with it flaking or smudging. And it also holds a curl all day. So I love that mascara. And then for my eyeshadow primers, I've still been loving my CoverGirl Lid Lockup and my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Vanilla Kiss. On days when I want my eyeshadow primer to have more coverage, I'll use this because it's like a flesh toned or like a bone color. So it's like, you know, my skin tone. So it'll cancel out any veins or anything like that. And it also is a great primer. It kind of reminds me of like MAC Painterly Paint Pot, but in a stick form. So really enjoy those. And then for eyeshadows, like over this month, I mean, there were days when I wore like a lot of eyeshadow, like on days when I wore my L'Oreal Paris Enchanted palette or the Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette, or the Urban Decay Born to Run. Like the Born to Run is just a gorgeous palette because you can create really pretty everyday looks with it, smoky looks, colorful looks. It is just a gorgeous palette, and I highly recommend this. I love that palette so much. And then these two palettes, I think these are great palettes from the drugstore that are just different and fun for summer. Now, I think all around the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted, the quality of the eyeshadows are a little more consistent in this palette, and you can also create more everyday looks with this. With the Maybelline Lemonade Craze, I do like this palette. However, some of the shades in here aren't as good as some of the others. Like it's not as consistent as it should be, but for a fun summertime palette, I do enjoy this. And I do want to do more looks with this. I know I did that look with the yellows, but I want to do a look with like the pink tones in here, do a more wearable everyday look, because you can create really pretty looks with this palette. And I know some people have really given this a lot of like negativity, but it's a good palette, I feel like, from the drugstore. Like, I mean, for the price and everything, I think it's fine. And then also this month, I kind of got sidetracked when I was talking about colorful looks, because a lot of the other days this month, I've been just doing very natural makeup looks, and I've posted some tutorials on those looks. But the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Bad to the Bronze with the Wet n Wild Nutty eyeshadow, like on days when I want to do a very simple eyeshadow look, but I want it to look like I spent a little bit more time on my eyeshadow, I like to use these two products. I did a get ready with me with these, so if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it down below. But they're just really pretty, just bronze. It just gives you a really pretty bronze eyeshadow look. So been enjoying those. And then on other days when I want just like a very almost like I'm not wearing eyeshadow makeup look. I've been enjoying my NARS All About Eve eyeshadow palettes, and I know this is very basic, but this is one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes. Like, I mean, as you can see, like, I've hit major pan on this. It's the type of eyeshadow that looks like nothing, but it adds just like a nice sheen to your eyelids, and it just evens them out. But at the same time, it looks super natural, like you're not even wearing eyeshadow. I don't know. I really love this. And you know, some days I've been doing this with just winged cat eyeliner, and I think that looks really just nice and simple. And I have been loving my CoverGirl Get In Line liquid liner, and this is the matte black color. I forgot how much I love these just because the applicator on this is so skinny and precise. You can get the perfect winged eyeliner with this. Like, I wish I would have used this in that makeup tutorial where I did the winged liner with this eyeshadow palette, like that Get Ready With Me. I forgot about these because I had them in my freelance makeup kit, and then I was going through that kit one day and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to use this again. And like I said, I forgot how much I loved it, but it's even better than my Tarteist Double Take Liner when it comes to doing wings, like doing winged eyeliner. I feel like this is better because the liner is more precise. The brush is smaller and more precise on it. So been loving that. And then my last favorites for this month are lip products, and I don't really have any new lip products except for, well, I guess I do have two new ones that I have been wearing quite a bit this month. This YSL Rouge Pure Couture lipstick, I did get this sent to me for free through Octoly, but this is a gorgeous nude. This is in shade 10. Let me take off this liquid liner so that you can see the swatch of this. But it's a really pretty, like, pinkish nude. It kind of reminds me of like my L'Oreal Ferris nude lipstick a little bit. But it just feels super moisturizing on the lips. I love the shade of this, so I've been enjoying this a lot. And then I picked up this L'Oreal Color Reef Shine lipstick in Shining Peach, and I really like this too. It's like a really pretty pink, just moisturizing pink, and I love to pair this like with lip liner because it is a little lighter, but it is a really pretty pink color. And I've still been loving my CoverGirl Queen Major Shades in Insider and Cakewalk. I just love these. They're so beautiful, long wearing liquid lipsticks. They don't feel drying on the lips at all. And I'll just swatch these two. I know I've showed these to you guys a lot, so you're probably like sick of seeing me talk about these. But they're still huge favorites. Like, I've still been loving those. And of course my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Lip Rescues. I can never remember the name of these, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They're like the lip balms in Rose, which is that one, and in Nude. Either one of these are good, like everyday, like tinted lip balms. Rose is a little more red toned, where Nude is more pinky, as you can see there. Like, this is almost like coral. So those have been my favorite lip products of the month. And like I told you guys in the tutorial of this look, I don't know if I have posted it yet or not. CoverGirl sent me a huge PR package of all of their new Exhibitionist. I think that's what the lipsticks are called. And I've really been enjoying a lot of these lip colors, but I can't really include any of them in my favorites yet because I literally just got that package and I want to use the lip colors so I can figure out which ones are my favorites and, you know, really tell you my opinions on those. So like I told you guys in that last, like in my tutorial of this look, let me know if you'd like to see a swatch, like a lip swatch video on all those new CoverGirl lipsticks, because there's 48 new shades. So yeah, just let me know. Those were all of my beauty favorites from July. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what have been some of your favorites, some of your favorite beauty products from July. I would love to know. And I hope that you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.